Lewis McGrillen, welcome along to Sky Sports. Great to see you, man. How you doing?
All good, mate, yeah.
This is your debut down with us, I believe?
Yeah, debut here now.
Ushered straight up into the podcast studio. You haven't had too much of a look around, but I'm always interested when people arrive here, like, what do you make of the kind of the sprawling campus that we've got here and everything that comes with it?
Well, it's fancy and it's a bit big, innit? It's massive.
It's huge.
It's fun how we rocked up here, to be fair. We got online bikes, lime little bicycles. I rocked up on them, yeah. Then we got to the proper and it says, oh, you can't park here. It won't work. So I had to go round the corner, go around the houses to come back on ourselves.
So we've had all sorts here. I mean, the good and the great of sport come to Sky Sports, and I'm almost certain no one's ever turned up with a line bike before.
Well, you got probably the first of many things, innit?
So it's Wythenshawe. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Wythenshawe, South Manchester.
So for people who haven't been to Wythenshawe, what's it like?
Obviously, it's got his rough around the edges and stuff like that. But we've also got some good household talent. Do you know what I mean? Especially in football. I know a few people like who play football. Cole Palmer, Ravel Morrison. When he played for United, he's from Wythenshawe. Obviously, you got Marcus Rashford and stuff like that. Fighters, Jimmy Kelly, McCall McGowan, stuff like that. Even the Tyson Fury family, they were there as well. It's a mix of all sorts of people, to be honest. Yeah.
Do you ever come across any of those guys when you?
Yeah. I didn't go to school with some of the lads, but a lot of them were older than me or different schools. But in the area, say I'm walking through the town centre, which is called Civic, you might see Big John Fury at the butcher's just getting some scran. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them, yeah.
Coming out of a pig.
yeah, big one, big beef as well. You know what I mean? But,
you must be a similar age to Cole Palmer, right?
Yeah, but he went to a different school than me.
Did he?
Yeah, he actually went to St Paul's. I went Newell Green, and that's like two rival schools in the football things. Football and fighting, that's what it was. But I think he was a year below me. Yeah. But who else? Marcus Rashford. He was a few years older than me as well. But I remember him playing football with my mates, like on the AstroTurf and stuff like that. My mate megged him. I remember that. But yeah.
So did you know about Cole Palmer when you were coming through? Did you hear there's this kid making waves? Because the area doesn't sound that big.
Yeah.
So for most areas, if there was a kid coming through that talented, Marcus as well, I mean, people would be talking about him.
100%. I remember hearing about Cole and stuff like when he played for City, but he was doing well in the academy and he was always getting his moment. But then a few lads, I went to school with another lad called Felix Demetra. He plays for Dortmund now, I think. Okay. And he left my school, and a few of the other lads who play for City left and went to a private school where all the City players went.
Yeah.
So they changed the format in there. But I remember him briefly and stuff like that. Plus, everyone knows families, don't they? In Wythenshawe, everyone knows my family. Probably know their family and stuff like that. It's just a small community, even though it's so big. Do you know what I mean?
Did you ever play football?
Yeah, I used to be a goalkeeper, me.
Did you?
Believe it or not, but I'm not the tallest person, am I? I was actually pretty good. Do you know what my nickname was?
Go on.
The Monk. Do you know, from Meme Machine?
From Meme Machine,
he used to call me the Monk, mate, because I was in the end of side having scraps too much on the pitch. How I started looking at how I got into MMA, my mate went, I used to like boxing originally. So he went, I'll swap you this Fight Night Champion game for a UFC Undisputed game. And I went, go on then, I give it a go. Started playing, I was like, yo, who's this guy, Jon Jones? Yo, who's this guy, Anderson Silva? Who's George St. Pierre? Started YouTubing and watching them all, like, yo, this is sick. Like, MMA, I might give that a go. Started training a little bit here and there, but I was still in football. I'd train so every day, really, I was doing, evening football sessions, and I was doing, the odd Wednesday night would be MMA, then a Sunday I was playing a game. And then over a period of time, I was like, I don't think I want to do football anymore. I don't feel like it's going anywhere. But at the same time, I didn't want to disappoint, my family, because football's, in us to do you know what I mean? But then I thought, I'll take MMA a go. And I was when I turned 16, just left school, I had my first amateur MMA fight.
No matter what you kind of go on to achieve in MMA, do you think you'll always be associated with that Dean Garnett fight?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I knew it was chaotic, and I knew it was chaos, and I knew it was mad, but at the same time, I thought, this ain't so bad. Oh, I might have been dropped a couple of times, it ain't so bad, but I've not dropped him more times. And I remember bleeding, at one point and it was going all in my eye, and I could barely see, and I remember wiping it. And I was like, yo, but as soon as I see my own blood, I'm like, that's the moment where it goes, oh, this is a proper fight. This is what real men do. So I thought, this is what you live for, really. This is what you want to do. You want to be a fighter, don't you? This is the moment to prove that you're a fighter.
You did that.
Yeah.
How many knockdowns was it in 3 rounds?
12.
How many were you going down? How many him going down? What was the split?
I went down like 3 times, and I think I knocked him down like 8 or 9, something like that. Yeah.
Man, it was special. If you haven't seen it, our friends over in the PFL Europe YouTube page have got it up. Well worth a watch.
Yeah.
So you've done it over in France. You're recently out in Belfast doing your thing as well. What have we got to do to get the PFL to come to Manchester? That's got to be the dream, right?
Yeah, it is the dream. I said it in the camera. I made direct eye contact. I said at the camera, and I could even I'll have fight anyone in Manchester.
Yeah.
There's a few people begging for it anyway to try and fight me, and I'll give open arms if they want to put it in Manchester. That's a no-brainer now. I feel like not even just me, you can headline that, but there's like a few guys, young Manchester MMA fighters, you could get on there. Obviously, you can have your Brendans or the Coulters if they're available around that time, because I'm looking at September, me.
Yeah.
And I think we should do PFL Manchester in September. It only makes sense.
Co-op?
Co-op, yeah. Or the AO Arena. I heard you could do the AO Arena, but I'll do any, me. Yeah.
Do you think if you got yourself, Dakota, Brendan, a few of the young guys as well,
sold out.
You think?
Sold out.
Big place.
100% sold out. Yeah, 100%. Co-op, is big.
Yeah.
It is big. AO Arena, definitely sell it out.
Uh-huh.
Definitely sell it out. Plus, I mean, Manchester, I'm very known, to be fair. Everyone does notice me out, and everyone does know Dakota now. Everyone does know Dakota. Everyone knows Brendan. It only makes sense. Do you know what I mean? We even got guys like K Musa. Everyone knows K Musa in Manchester. I think because it's not as big. Manchester's a big city, but it's not like London big, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? At the same time, it's got its own community. So,
yeah. So what do we do? What do we need to do to get this over the line?
Just book it, mate. Just book it. I keep telling him all that. Just book it.
The fight with you and Dean that we mentioned saw Manchester top team and next gen going at it. We seem to be seeing this more and more. Shows getting booked. Cage Warriors, for example. Is there a rivalry there?
In like a competition way and stuff like that, I'd say possibly. But to be fair, I don't mind any of the people, like, on a personal level. I think they're all sound, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as it is probably like when you got people like Dennis who fought Paddy in the gym and stuff like that. That was just a friendly little straightener, which has got to be done. You know what I mean? I don't really have anything to say about like where it's like bitter rivalry or anything. Just from different gyms. If we do get matched to fight each other, then after that we shake hands. Yeah. Simple, innit? Some of them are sound. Some of us think we're sound as well. It's just probably a few people don't like some of the guys in it. Talk
us through Paddy and Dennis, because you were right in the mix for that one, weren't you?
Dennis is going to love the attention here in this one, mate. Swear down. Well, basically, Dennis just being Dennis, chatting all over Instagram, and then Paddy just went, I'll have you a straightener, mate. And then Dennis went back and forth, saying, yeah, I'll fight you. And then Paddy rocked up, mate. Let's have a straightener with like good few scousers, mate. He rocked the coming numbers, and then he rocked on the mat, and then they had it. I was like the ref, like the piece of between it a little bit. They had another lad who was like another guy, some scouse lad. He was like the ref as well. But we were just like keeping the peace in a way.
Yeah.
So like soon as like Paddy got him in a choke and he was choking him out, then he started panicking and started tapping. They did say back and forth, we'll go at it till someone goes out. But I seen the panic in his eyes, and he was going out.
Yeah.
He had Paddy around his neck. Do you know what I mean? I ran over to split it up, and as I ran over to split it up, everyone rushed to the centre. But I remember like pushing Paddy to his side, so just in case it does ever kick off.
Yeah.
So I put him to his people and just leave it from there. But everyone just stood there in front of each other like that. It was like, who's going to throw the first punch here now? That's what it was like. And I was like, no one's fighting. Do you know what I mean? And after that, they just shook hands, and then Paddy went his way and Dennis did his thing, yeah. But he got squashed, to be fair. But it went viral, didn't it? It was everywhere.
It did. What do you make of what we're getting from Paddy recently? Because he's always had the name, the attention, loads of fans. Feels like recently he's really leveled up in terms of what he's capable of doing, though.
Yeah, I think he's doing sick. I think he's just proving people wrong every time. Do you know what I mean? Especially, I had a feeling he was going to beat Chandler. Me.
Yeah.
Something told me he was going to beat Chandler, but the way he did it as well was class. I thought he'd sub him, but I think Paddy is proving a lot of people wrong every time. He looks big for the weight, and I think he can punch hard. Me, people people just look at it like his style's a bit different to other people, so like people think it's deceiving. But I feel like he's just going to keep proving people wrong. Do you know what I mean?
How far do you think he can go?
It's possible anyone can go all the way. Do you know what I mean? If with the right game plan, right timing as well to take set fights, it's possible he could become champion. It's possible, but I do feel like obviously the biggest test he has to come across is Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
I think there's a few good guys in there like Charles Oliveira could give him a good fight.
Yeah.
I feel people think I'm crazy on this one, but I do feel like he could be a Gaethje me.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like Gaethje's had so many wars now. His chin's getting a bit weaker now, and I feel like that's a perfect fight for Paddy. I think
it looks like the way the matchups are going as well that Gaethje could be odd man out. We've got Ilya Toporia's coming up. He's fighting Charles Oliveira for the title. Paddy vs Ilya after all they've been through in 12, 18 months time.
That'd be sick to watch.
How do you think that goes?
I don't know, you know.
The exhale said it all there.
Topuria is a beast, mate. He is.
He's a special fighter.
Yeah, he is. He is a special fighter, but he's also going up a weight.
Yeah.
So how will he deal with the size and stuff like that?
Speaking about Paddy there, last time we spoke to Paddy, he had a lot to tell us about Liverpool and all sorts of things going on with the team. You've shocked me by coming in with the accent, with where you're from, telling me you're a Liverpool fan. Explain.
So, my old man is a Liverpool fan. No one's a Scouser in my family at all. So, like, on my mum's side, they're Irish, and then on my dad's side, my granddad, he's from Sussex. He supports West Ham. And then when he was in the Navy, he met me nana, moved to Manchester, had my dad and stuff, and then my dad didn't want to support West Ham. He didn't want to support United or City, so he thought I'll support Liverpool, and I just follow who my old man follows in it. But he was as a Liverpool fan. I think he was definitely probably glory hunting when I think about it, because he was Liverpool in the 80s. We all know they were very good. Yeah.
How do you survive living in Wythenshawe and being a Liverpool fan?
No one messes with me.
That's how you learn how to fight, isn't it? That's how you learn how to fight.
One of the last few games I went to United Liverpool. It was in the Stretford End. I went in the Stretford End, mate, and I'm there. I had United fans, like old time, like firm guys, like to me. Oh, I hate them Scousers. They're giving me. And I'm just there, like, yeah. I like Liverpool too, mate. And I'm there just keeping it quiet. Every time Liverpool get scoring, I was just looking at them up. And I just kept going quiet about it.
What about if you go to Anfield? How do you handle that?
Oh, it's sick. They're always like, wait, you're a man, can you support Liverpool? I'm like, yeah, and then they like you even more. More than anything, you get more respect, you know what I mean? But my brother's crazy Liverpool fan.
Really?
Crazy Liverpool fan, loves them all. Yeah.
What do you make of Trent bidding his a farewell?
Yeah, I actually don't mind it, me.
Really?
Obviously, yeah, I don't mind it. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah. They're going to give him stick. He's going to give him stick and stuff like because of what he said. But think of it, yeah. Poor young lad. He signed for one. He played for Liverpool, yeah. It's a kid's dream for one. And then obviously he's going to say all these things, especially media could put in his mouth, like say like Liverpool's the best and this and that. And he's going to say these things. And now he's getting opportunities to go somewhere else, which is not half bad, to be honest. And then if he's taking opportunities as it comes, do you know what I mean? So I feel like fair enough to him, but. I'd see that's another thing. I remember when people were saying Fernando Torres was a snake when he went Chelsea.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was part of that when I was younger. If you would have asked me when I was like younger about Trent leaving, I say I was 10 in this time, I would say Trent's a snake. But now I'm like laid back about it a bit more. I'm like, nah, he can do his thing a little bit. If he wants to be like, he'd be like that. That's how I see it. But we'll never forget.
Look at you all grown up.
Yeah.
That's enough about Scousers. Just a quick word on a fellow Manc. And Tommy Aspinall.
Oh, yeah?
Who we haven't seen in action for, 10 months?
How long it's been now?
Yeah. It was the Cope event in July last year. What do you make of what's going on with him? We're all desperate to see him in action. Doesn't look like it's getting closer.
It's all because Jon Jones stalling in it, really. Like, Jon Jones does what Jon Jones thinks he can do, do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the first time we've seen Jon Jones not being inactive and stuff. What Jon Jones is doing is not telling anyone that he's preparing for a fight when he probably is preparing for a fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then he'll go, yeah, I'm ready to fight, but he's already ready. Jon Jones plays them games, whereas like he don't want Tom Aspinall to get prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Tom Aspinall will beat Jon Jones.
Do you?
Now I do, because Jon Jones is, even though Jon Jones is still like, for me, he's the GOAT, but it's a young man's game fighting as well.
Mm.
So I feel like that will play a factor. I think he'd be faster than him and stuff like that. But I think Tom Aspinall should just try and move on, last for other fights, really. But we don't know what's going on behind the curtains of them stuffs.